Welcome back to another episode of the From the Jump podcast. You know what it is and what it ain't. It's your boy DJ. I'm your host here with a few of my co-hosts and bro hosts. To my right, I got
Ayo.
And man behind the camera.
Alex in the building.
Shout out to brother. Right here, I got
Big Tony.
And you know what's going on, Brody. We here. And man, let me just say, appreciate everybody again rocking with us, giving us that feedback. You know what it is. Just here to grind it out and, you know, talk some things that hopefully everybody that chooses to listen loves to listen to. So we're going to get into it. You know what it is. We're going to start with the MVP race. We're getting towards the end of the season, and, you know, it's coming about that time. Everyone's kind of had their runs. People have had injuries, so we're going to see what everybody thinks, man. So I'm going to start it off with AO. What you thinking, fam?
Right now, it's ugly because you already know with Joel just getting back, he's right on that cusp of, like, have you played enough games to actually win the MVP? Compared to LeBron, he had it until UC wanted to fuck his leg up. Now that man's gonna be out for another 3 weeks on top of what he's already been out of. And this man Jokic just, I think he's the front runner right now. Just because looking at it, he's the one who's been playing the most. This man's averaging close to a damn near triple double, doing it for his team, even though they're not top 3 in the West. But at the same time, they're still they're right up there putting in work.
Already, Big Tom.
Well, you know me, I'm a rock with, you know, depending on the situation, but LeBron's going to be my front runner naturally, just because of the game, the team this year. Realistically, like the fact that he played all those games without AD and so on. But if we're being with active players at the moment, Joel Embiid, if he can stay healthy, I feel like he's going to win it out. Just because he's been stellar this year. Like when he's healthy, he's been hands down the best seasons he's had by far, in my opinion. He'll be the front runner, but if LeBron was to come back and be able to finish the season the right way, maybe finish out winning the regular season, then he can be the front runner, in my opinion. But I'd give it to Joel Embiid. Jokic is who he is, but Joel Embiid really killing for his squad, like real life killing it for his team.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely it's helped them. You know, I think especially with the defense, you know, Ben Simmons being defensive player, damn near defensive player in the year, and the way he's been playing, allowing Joel Embiid to kind of handle that more offensive load and do what he do, you know, I think it's definitely put him up there.
Who you picking?
I'm going to have to go, like he said, with Jokic, just because it's tough for me because it's not those big number, you know, them 30, 40-point triple-doubles, but he's been having triple-doubles and has been playing damn near the whole year.
Yeah.
So if I had to give it to somebody this year, I'd give it to Jokic. It's just tough with, you know, like we said, with LeBron going down because he was balling. Joel Embiid balling, went down. So it was kind of like you're the only one active type thing for a while. So,
So, like I said, your best, your best attribute is availability.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only person who's been here all season. So,
which is great, great. But I feel like going into the playoffs, because their offseason is so short, it might be tough on him,
right?
You know, but if you're talking about from an MVP standpoint, which it is what it is nowadays to me. But he's gonna be him and Joel Embiid. I feel like could run the show.
Right. No, I definitely agree. What's up, Bill?
I was like, most definitely. I was like, I agree with him.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna stay, you know, talking about the Lakers, the Nets. They kind of had their first matchup. They had Andre Drummond back. And the Nets had Kevin Durant. They had Kyrie, no James Harden. We saw how that game went, 101 to 126. Lakers W. How y'all feeling about that?
I don't put too much stock in it until LeBron and AD get back, and then you see the Nets with James to see that full, team, like what we're going to see in the playoffs.
Right.
And at the same time, KD's on a minute restriction right now, and then Kyrie got kicked out in the third quarter, so you can't really put too much stock into it. But at the same time, you can be concerned for the Nets. Like, are they going to be healthy all throughout the season? At the same time, that chemistry level, because they haven't played, their big three haven't played together all season long pretty much.
Right.
Except for what?
Couple
5 games.
Yeah.
So that's a big question.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Honestly, I look at it like you got a glimpse of what they look like without James Harden for the first half. But James Harden's been a no-show kind of in the playoffs. A lot more earlier than nowadays, but still it shows like what are they dynamic-wise without him. Like if he struggles or he's not playing well, obviously they didn't mesh well. He had Blake Griffin out there. You know, basically the whole team was rocking, and the Lakers didn't have their two monsters.
Right.
But the Lakers, being who they are and the defense they've came up with, they just was like killer. But the Ben McLemore addition was phenomenal.
Really?
I didn't realize he was still elite shooter like he is so far.
Right.
But you just needed another one because you're gonna have to put one around them two. Absolutely. But in the game, it's just like what team looked better together, which was the Lakers, and the Lakers didn't have the two monsters.
Yeah.
They had their best player and Kevin Durant, their second, obviously argue best player with James Harden. I mean with Kyrie. What else do you need? So then you add James. Okay, cool, that'll make it. But I feel like it just showed you what they were without James.
Yeah, for sure.
See, and a big problem too is they're still ranked 25th defensively in the NBA.
I didn't think you was going to expect them to guard when they made that team anyway.
Right.
Like they're like, we're just going to outscore everyone, which rightly so is probably true. But if James Harden can't carry a 25-point load, they lost by 25, they're going to lose by 1 or 2. And that's just what it comes. Can you balance it out when he gets back? That's the big question to me.
Yeah, and at the same time, when LeBron gets back, he's going to slow that game down a lot more compared to what they're used to, running up and down the court just to keep the score a little bit lower. From them scoring 130, they might score maybe 90 fucking with them in the playoffs, so you never know.
Yeah. Right. No, and I've definitely, since, LeBron and AD have been out, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's his contribution, because
ball.
Yeah, for the first half, he was playing like ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now he's finally starting to get that 3-ball comfortable and get back working. So,
which is good.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what that matchup will look like. Should it end up in the finals and everything like that?
And Drummond did better than I expected. He came back from his injury and did his thing. And that's my thing. Like, with Drummond, he played in the East, which wasn't real strong when LeBron. LeBron was always running the show.
Right.
But the teams he was on, he wasn't like – he was probably the best player, but the teams was bad.
Right.
So it didn't really show me he was that elite of a player still. So, but last night he was like, I'll show you I can still get to it. And if he can do that, then that's when I can say, okay, I bet you the Lakers could give the Nets a run for their money for real.
Okay.
Especially with him only being the third option, too.
Yeah,
when those two get back, you're not expecting him to drop 20, but you do need those 10 rebounds every game. And you're not getting that from Marc Gasol, so it's definitely the best acquisition they could have got.
Okay. So it's staying on, obviously those are two big juggernauts in the league. Who would you say are your picks for the Western Conference Finals, and then your two picks for the Eastern Conference Finals, Big Tom?
I don't know. I haven't got to see the Clippers a whole lot this year. Obviously, they're still probably one of the juggernauts. But I would like to see LA and the Lakers and the Clippers play. Now, on the East side, I would probably want to say the Nets and the Sixers. I would want to see that because I just don't feel like Boston's very good this year. The East is kind of up and down.
Milwaukee,
it's just like Antetokounmpo, to me, his team's just not equipped for that. Like the Nets are a West Side type roster, and they're just not.
Right.
If Chris Middleton's your second best player, no disrespect to him, you're not that great.
Right.
And that's just the reality of it. And I think your point guard is
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. And he's getting older, things like that. But he's never been an elite guy.
Right.
He's a good defender, solid point guard. But what do you got around Antetokounmpo to make you better than the Sixers? Except him.
Right.
And if Joel's healthy, he can handle Antetokounmpo if he's healthy. But I like to see those two matchups, and then obviously the Nets and the Lakers, if they can make it to the finals, I'd like to see that.
Okay.
But I take the Sixers. I like Doc Rivers. I feel like he deserves. It's been a long time. He deserves to get back in there.
Right.
If he can get back in there with the Sixers, I feel like that'd be dope too.
Okay. Ayo?
Hey, I definitely agree with you on the Eastern and Western matchups for the finals. I like that. But another one sneaky. I feel like the Utah Jazz might slide in there because I think it'll be the Lakers Jazz, and then on the East you have not Milwaukee but Philadelphia and the Nets. I think both of those are gonna happen.
Okay.
Especially with the teams. I like both of those teams going up against each other.
But Denver's turned around, haven't they?
Denver's
They won how many games now? Six straight? No, that's not right. But they have been playing better now that Aaron Gordon's getting comfortable.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like if Aaron Gordon get comfortable and MPJ straight, I mean, you got some. That's a bucket getting team right there in Jokic. So they could sneak in there too. Because the Clippers, obviously, they was on some weird stuff because of COVID last year. But they're hit and miss. And if you got Pandemic P. It's gonna be all ugly because I really sometimes don't think Kawhi really cares.
No,
that's just how I feel. Like he be out there playing like If we win, we win, cool. If we lose, we lose, cool. I'm going to go get in my little hoopty and go to the house.
Yep.
Paul George, if he's healthy, he obviously want to get to it. But I'm like, you don't have another juggernaut. You have Patrick Bev and Serge Ibaka. Like, you don't have, to me, the pieces that were like last year.
Right.
So I would like to see Denver make it again. And then, that would be dope.
Yeah.
Because if they're healthy, those 4 guys will be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. And you were right. They had won 6 games up until their last game when they played the Celtics. They lost by 18.
Wow.
It was 105 Celtics, 87 Denver.
See,
Who was hurt?
No one.
Nope.
Jokic just gave up after they were getting their ass beat.
No
that man
way.
just said, I don't
That's
really
all
care.
bad.
Oh, yeah. He had Jokic had a triple-double, 17, 11, and 10.
Dang.
That's just that, but
I got a couple friends, big Denver fans, and they was telling me, I was over at his house here, they was telling me about that. They're playing a lot better, so I was like, cool.
Yeah. No Jamal Murray.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
that is.
That hurts. That hurts.
For sure.
He's your engine. You know what I
Right.
mean? He gets you rolling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Same time, that shows the Boston Celtics potential and what they can do if
Right.
they actually get their shit together.
Exactly. That's the thing. They got to buy in together. Like, you expect them to be up there, but they've been really struggling this year. But Kemba start getting back to it,
Right.
and that's just how it goes. If like I told you last week, he become a great all around point guard, the Celtics will be fine. They just got to find a big guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you said, but at the same time, I'll never believe in Kemba.
Yeah.
After the stuff with the Hornets, I was just like,
Right.
And then last year, you didn't show me that much either. So I was just like, I don't know how I feel about Kemba.
He had big shoes to fill, and he just didn't fill them. You know what I mean? And even if you go to IT, he wasn't like IT. Obviously, he wasn't like Kyrie or even Terry Rozier. He didn't even step up to none of 3 of those, realistically. So now he's just kind of floating around. But
Same time,
he gonna be himself.
I feel like they need like an actual point guard because that's going to elevate Jason and Jalen to where they need to be and be those elite scorers. But Kemba being a shoot first guard, like point guard, it's not really helping their offense.
Yeah, at all.
And I feel like that's where they had the, what do you call it? They're not doing as good as they were like in the past, especially even last year because he was hurt half the time last year too. So I was just like, once you get like an actual just point guard in there who's a pass first guard, like Alonzo in there, I feel like that team would skyrocket.
I agree.
Okay.
And they need a big too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they hurting. So we're going to talk about the future of the NBA real quick, just touch on it. We have Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State. You have Evan Mobley from USC, Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga, and then you also have Luka Garza, I believe is his name, from Iowa. Who would y'all say would be – who do you think is the most NBA-ready player, and who do you also think that player will make the largest impact when they come into the league?
Like, I haven't seen Mobley a lot this year, but just off his stature alone, you think about the possibilities he has. His uprise is a lot higher than, like, Luka is just kind of big, and I don't know if he makes sense in this league. He might be better overseas, but in the NBA, I feel like he struggled. Cade Cunningham, he been up and down all season with me, and so I've been kind of off with him. But I love Suggs, but he's small, not nothing crazy,
right.
And he's a decent scorer. But he had a good team. Like, his team was great. So if you're talking about an individual's career, Cade Cunningham and Mobley are probably going to be your front runners, and I think Mobley's going to be the one to make an impact instantly.
Okay.
Cade Cunningham's always been a great bucket, kind of like MPJ, but I don't know if he's even remotely close as MPJ to me.
Right.
But Mobley could really turn it up and go make an impact early in the league.
Okay.
See, this whole draft this year's kind of got me like,
Yeah.
There's not really that one person besides Cade who kind of sticks out, and then Cade's still like question mark.
Yeah.
But he was at Oklahoma State doing it by himself, so I can take that into account. But the person I'd say is from the G League is the Jonathan Kuminga.
Oh, okay. I like this.
That man, he moved up a year, but at the same time, I don't know how to explain his game. It's bland, but at the same time, this man puts the ball in the basket.
Simple,
and it's nice, and I like it. I definitely could see him upgrading and elevating depending on where he goes and if he's put into the right situation.
Right.
I really like Cade, but at the same time, like he said, he's been up and down all year with me, and it's just I don't really know how to feel about him.
Right. No, I'm definitely. It's probably just a Oklahoma State fan in me. I'm a big Cade fan, but you know, I like the point that you brought up, especially with those G League guys, because I definitely miss them. With Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga, definitely good young players. I think my thing, and you know, it's just like the stature, like the size wise and everything, and build. Just because, you know, these really smaller framed big men that are just, you know, like when you go up against a Joel Embiid, when you go up against, you know, those type of guys, those grown men, you know.
Yeah.
I think Cade will be good. I think Jalen Green could be good, but Cade's my number one. But I think as these young men grow into their bodies, or, you know, whatever, I think that's a bigger part of the game of basketball that a lot of these kids don't pay attention to nowadays, is working on their actual physical self rather than skill. So if I had to just pick one, it'd be Cade Cunningham for sure.
I like it. A lot of people say that. I just wasn't. Like, watching him a lot this year, I'm like, that kid, you never know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Suggs, you knew what you were going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Mobley, you knew, okay, he's the best player. He got to do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Cade, like, everybody knew he was the best player, but sometimes he'd be like, nah, you know, I'm going to pass this game.
Right.
And you're like, hold on, bro. In the NBA, you got to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's other guys going to kill you unless you know, and you got to kill him back. But I didn't feel like, you know, and this may be different, but I just don't feel like he had that old-fashioned mentality like, I'm going to give you all I got every game.
Right.
And that's what it is, because I think he knew he was going to the NBA regardless.
Right.
So it was, sometimes he took it off like, these games ain't really that important, which it might be right, but it's just, to me, it doesn't hold your stature good enough to be like, oh, you're the for sure number one.
Mm-hmm.
So the other guys give themselves an opportunity.
Okay.
But I feel like too, like you said, it was other games where he really didn't care about one. But when the lights shine the brightest, that man stepped up and he did what he had to do.
I agree.
Nah, for sure, man. So we're going to take a quick little detour, man. Just because, you know, we usually talk about basketball a lot. Everybody's on our bumper, man. We love basketball. Don't be on us. Just wait till we get some other shit. We're going to hit y'all with some curveballs. But I really want to get into some of the music that we listen to, because a lot of times, like, people don't, you know, as we've grown up, you know, basketball and music and basketball and sports in general has always coincided. They've been hand in hand, you know, that pregame music on the bus, getting ready to go play them games, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, whether it be, you know, if you want to talk about some of the music you were listening to for a pregame when you was growing up, or music you got in your playlist now, you know, what y'all listening to right now for some of the fans out there, man?
Yeah, so if you go off what I'm listening to now, a lot of my young cats been on me about certain rappers, and I don't know if it's like an old head in me, but I have a hard time getting comfortable with who I'm listening to. Yeah. And so I think you might have posted it, and one of my former players was like, you got to listen to this dude named Pooh Shiesty. And I'm like, who is that? What kind of name is Pooh Shiesty? And so the name alone is what kept me away. Yeah. Well, then, was it Back in Blood came out. And I was listening to a podcast, and it was playing on there. And then it was actually his interview. So I listened to him, and then I started listening to it. So then I'm listening to Pooh Shiesty right now. You know, obviously Alex, we riding in the car one day, and he always listens to some different stuff. So he playing this song, and he might have sent it to me. And I'm listening to it like, what did you watch? What did you listen to, bro? He's like, bro, just listen to the words, blah, blah, go crazy. So I let it ride. So then the next day, I'm like, man, let me listen to what he was talking about. So this is BFB the Pac-Man. Yeah. And so he throw it on there, and I get to listening, bro. And I like music now if it makes me laugh. Right. And so like a lot of music be kind of in between. So I'm like, all right, let me see. So I'm listening. I listened to a couple songs. Then I heard the Joe Exotic joint he made on Gilly the King's podcast. And I'm crying, laughing, listening to this song. So I go down with my playlist, and I'm listening to him every morning for like a week straight. I might have seen your video. I was listening to him on the way to work. And I'm listening to him. I'm like, I text him like, bro, this dude go crazy, son. Right. And so then I listened to a little, I think it might have been his little album or something. And this is when I realized, like, he's telling fat guy stories. Like, he holding it down for us big guys. Facts. Telling all the facts. So, I mean, one verse he said something like, I love these donuts. It gave me diabetes. Forget a salad. And I'm like, that's not how that's supposed to go. But I understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? That's just so that's those two right now. Really, are the two I'm bumping. I get Moneybag Yo in there a little bit here and there, but I'm always go back to my old roots. I listen to Kevin Gates faithfully, Meek Mill faithfully.
Yes, sir.
I listen to old Drake faithfully, and Lil Wayne's by far my favorite rapper. So that's where my little circle usually stays.
Okay.
If you got music you think I should listen to, like I'll try it.
Right.
But you gotta understand I'm real different. Like you send me some old random stuff, I be off in the field somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, Pooh Shiesty got me.
Right.
You know, and the fact that I play that in my car tells you a lot. But
Right.
the little man be talking crazy.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I love Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah, crazy, bro.
Hey, when of y'all hit the fan, turn that fan off. It's cold.
Hey, I'm already.
I cannot believe it. Y'all was sitting here freezing.
Hey,
Hey, you cold,
I
huh?
was at first.
I got
and then
sweats
just
on.
let it go.
Hey, shout out to my
Freezing.
girl, man. She said if it's cold in there, she be picking out the outfits. Hey, babe, appreciate you.
Wow.
Hey,
Stop it.
She dressed
Stop it.
herself.
Hey,
Stop
bro,
it.
Hey, it's baby girl drip.
Hey, Dante said you need to go over there and get a cut. He said you be on here looking busted. That's what he
Whoa.
said.
Look here,
Look,
man.
man.
I
go
came
look that.
last week crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's what
Look
Dante
here.
said, though.
I be trimming my own shit. I'm saving money. And yes,
Your brother-
and let me tell y'all, the top is clean. The top stay clean. All right, don't stay off my way.
It's not clean right now.
Hey, you know, hey.
You got the George Jefferson going
Dante
crazy.
said you on here representing the family bad is what he said.
Oh, shit. He can't talk, but we ain't gonna stay on tape. I'm gonna let him enjoy his hair while he got it.
Yo.
Don't do him like
he ain't
that.
got it
Hey,
very
no,
long.
we're not doing it.
He ain't got it. Yo.
Hey, bro.
Oh,
So
We're
about
not
your
doing
music, hey, yo. So about your music, fam.
Yo.
Man, you already know me. I'm more or less in like the R&B side of shit. I
Okay.
really fucks with that a lot, heavily.
I was
But
not
right now,
expecting that. I'm not
He's
gonna lie.
light skinned.
bro,
Yeah, you know.
I was
yeah.
not
to the
expecting you to
death.
say R&B.
He said, what you bumping? Tell me, hit me some joints.
What I listen to the most right now is the Trey Songz shit. It's a little bit old. He came out with it last year, but I've been still bumping that. A little
Wow.
hard.
I didn't even know he made nothing.
That man's been out here silently putting in work, but I like it. And then I just listen to a lot of everything.
You listen to the Jacquees guy?
Oh yes.
That's my guy. Don't
Oh,
even
my
start with me.
goodness. They sent me his name one time. I said, what is this?
That boy the 5'6"
But
lady
he
killer.
be singing, though.
Boy, 5'5".
What's the other dude's name that starts with an F? Can't think of it right
Talking
now.
about Brent Fayez.
Yeah, Brent Fayez.
I'm saying his last name. I don't know.
Yeah, they say he's elite, but I ain't really jumped on him either.
I ain't either, to be honest.
Some of
with
my
you.
homies be like, them to go crazy.
Oh yeah.
But R&B Trey Songz only? You got the chest
I listen
tattoo?
to everything.
Oh yeah.
You got the chest tattoo?
You got the chest
I
tattoo.
thought you
You
going
wild,
crazy.
bro.
I thought you going crazy.
Nah, man. I definitely say I'm kind of in between both of y'all when it comes to music. You know, mom and dad raised me real heavy on the old school R&B. So, you know, I wake up, you know, Sundays is usually the cleaning days. So Aaron, when he wake up and you start hearing that, you know, Joe, you start hearing Jodeci. You start hearing
Y'all tripping in
yeah,
there on
bruh.
Sundays.
The
Hey,
90s,
in
the
there,
90s,
them
I feel
90s
it.
tracks.
You know.
Hey, baby making music.
Yeah,
Y'all
well,
young kids
so
don't
we
know
know
about
what you
that.
was doing.
Nah, you know, hey, when that shit came out, you knew when it was time not to go to mom and dad's room.
Yeah.
But shit, also, you know, Pooh Shiesty, he was trying to get on my bumper when I said,
I
you
was.
were growing, you listen to a man named Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty put on for all the dudes about 150 pounds. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Man.
but he's
Big
5'5".
Yeah.
Him and Key Glock.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Skinny dudes, we come, hey. I ain't gonna say nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? So I
Pooh
be
go
on
crazy.
Pooh Shiesty. My little brother Tay, he put me on Lil Durk because I was not a Durk
I
fan.
ain't a Dirk fan yet.
They put me on. Cause last song I heard from Durk when I was really listening to it was that Durk and Dej, that Shawty My Beyonce with him and
yeah.
Dej Loaf. And then I started hearing him just go crazy. Dante sent me one song, and then you know he had that Back in Blood with Pooh Shiesty. Keep on talking, better get that shit in blood. That was my shit for a little bit. Actually, Moray, if you ain't heard the song, Quicksand.
I think Tony knows that song.
Yeah.
This is
I'd have
just
to
a
hear it.
time with a kickstand.
Oh, yeah.
He was in there hitting that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
facts.
hey, for real,
Because he
for
had
real.
that Fat Boy rag on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's do
Yeah.
an LRG shirt.
Yep, wiping
Yeah,
his
going
forehead.
crazy.
dude.
See, us
Killing
fat
it.
dudes sticking together, homie. We coming.
I'm just glad they're getting the love they deserve, bro.
Hey,
'Cause,
man.
hey,
Big Cats can sing.
Oh, yeah.
Rod Wave go crazy.
that new album,
Deep, son.
man. All right, that
I
Tombstone.
know
I
he be in
was
there. He got to be in there crying or something.
half the time.
It got to be.
Even ghetto gospel, he was doing that.
Facts. Hey, but when he said he tied old dude to the truck and drug him down the street, I'm like, yeah, Rod got some serious issues. He
Yeah.
need to talk to somebody tonight.
Emotional.
That boy was bugging. For real.
Oh yeah, bro.
But like, listen
It
to
is
me.
interesting, too, how like hip hop transitions to basketball, I was going to say.
okay,
Oh, yeah.
my bad.
I'll be watching like I was on, just for instance, like Polo G and John Morant be interacting on
Polo
social
G
media and stuff like that. Like I used to be seeing rappers and basketball players interact.
Mhm.
So it's interesting y'all bring up this because I feel like it's kind of cross culture. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, like they bring up rappers and songs all the time or whatever it may be.
They're like family, man. I was listening to Rasheed Wallace the other day on the podcast, and he was just like, "I love kicking it with rappers."
Mhm.
And I'm like, "See, that's how it goes a lot of the times."
Mhm.
You know, you talk about like Kevin Hart kicking it with Dwayne Wade. Like it's just all that music and comedy that just goes with basketball hand in hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But one thing about me, I stepped out the rim and I really bump country.
Mhm.
So I know
Really?
I really be in country hard. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like Luke Combs,
Oh.
real life. Like
Oh.
like
David, why you got the look on your face?
yeah.
Because, hey, bro, I was not expecting
No,
this,
like
bro.
I'm serious. Like you can put my phone up and you can ask my wife. If I'm riding down the street a lot of times, I might be bumping Luke Combs, like for real, because he legit says some songs to me that's like hood baby songs, kind of is how I'm feeling when he's
Really?
singing it. And then there's a dude named Chris Stapleton. I'm putting
David,
y'all on.
This is blowing my
I'm
mind.
putting y'all on.
Yeah.
I'm putting y'all on, bro. Chris Stapleton. I didn't even know he was white for a long time.
Really?
He was singing it, but going crazy in country. And I'm like, this dude going nuts. And I found it.
Mm-hmm.
He was white, and I'm like, wow, dude's insane. Mess with him. Thomas Rhett. You know, I go crazy with my country because I play golf though.
Okay.
It really eased my mind because I be playing golf. I start listening to rap. When I start playing bad, I turn that country on it to calm me down. But if I'm listening to Meek Mill, I'm trying to smash that ball, wow, wherever it goes. Turn on that country, okay, now I can see the hole. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? But I really mess with country hard.
Okay.
You got any Josh Turner on there?
Oh no, that's him. See, he be listening
Oh,
to
Alex.
he be listening to some wild. What's stuff you listen to?
Tyler Childers,
yeah,
Zach
bro.
Bryan. I listen to Red Dirt. Country.
Yeah, he be listening
Oh.
to some wild.
See.
See, now he listens to that old fashioned country.
Okay.
The stuff that
Alex.
kind of touchy around, you know what I'm saying?
Let me find out.
And he be bumping. I'm like, he listens to this joint, and I listen to it. I'm like, how are you listening to this, bro? He love it, but yeah, I'm a big country fan nowadays.
Okay. So if I may ask, because when my dad, if you ever see my dad like 6'2", 260, big dude, and he started listening to country, and I'm talking about, it's like he went into a booth and changed clothes. This dude started wearing boots, camo, all that. So my question to y'all, so you said golf got you into
Golf
it?
got me into it, yeah.
Alex, what got you into country music?
White women.
Really?
That'll
Just
do it.
naturally.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, my wife was white.
I mean, we grew up
Okay.
in more too. I mean, it's just
That's true.
a lot of
Yeah.
my friends listen to country, so it's just
Right.
naturally.
I done put a lot of my homies on,
Okay.
for real. They like, nah, bro, you can't listen to country. And I'm like, okay, turn that Luke Combs on if you want to.
Maybe y'all can do a little like Tony watch anime. Y'all listen to country, or you listen to country. At least.
I got a couple
Since you
songs,
listen to
but
country.
mine
Send
is
me an anime
like
joint.
Bro,
a little bit of chicken fried. Like that's my shit.
Oh,
you
you
talking
know
about-
what I'm saying?
okay,
You know,
See,
but-
Mariah clowns me because she's like, you listen to new country.
right.
But I got a couple old heads I listen to, like Brad Paisley, Kenny Chesney, stuff like that, a little older heads. But she like old, like her favorite artist is Alan Jackson, and him talking about old. So like Alan Jackson got a song called Drive. They danced, her and her dad did their father-daughter dance at our wedding
Right.
to that song. So that
Okay.
like she be on that old stuff. So she be clowning me like, you listen to old new country. It's not even country. No. I'm like, I'm listening though.
Right.
I'm taking the time to listen. I'll enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's definitely. But they do us like that with rap, though. You know, like you
Yeah.
listen to that new rap. Like we had Tupac, we had Biggie, we had.
My dad be doing that to us. And he put us on J. Cole. Me and my dad was tripping on J. Cole for a minute.
Mhm.
I finally hopped on J. Cole's train. He was going crazy.
Mhm.
And then my dad was fighting us like, no, he's soft. And no, he talking about this. And he don't even sound like it. And then out of nowhere, he listened to him.
Mm.
Like, exactly.
Jay's the GOAT. That's all I'll say.
Facts. J. Cole
Okay.
was crazy.
Definitely my favorite rapper.
See, let me tell you a story about Mariah.
Okay.
We
let me
sitting
do
at my house when we first started dating. And I'm a big Meek Mill fan at this time. So she's sitting there with me, and I think I was playing a song on my phone. It was Dreams and Nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just listening, and I'm rapping it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she started rapping it with me. And you can ask her to this day, I said, I'm going to be with you forever. You can go in there and ask her right now. She said, I said, I'm going to be with you forever. She was spitting the whole thing bar for bar at our wedding. We came through the doors
Yeah.
to Dreams and Nightmares.
No.
I'm not lying. You open the door. They open the doors. We come walking. It was Dreams and Nightmares. Because they also got the verse with Mariah in it when he says, what's he say? I do verses with Mariah or something like that. And yeah, that's exactly what it came out to for real.
Hey, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
I like that. I definitely, if I'm being honest, like I don't know if you want to call it real rock and roll, but I was like, Panic at the Disco, different stuff like
Like alternative rock.
Yeah, alternative rock.
Y'all
for
all
sure.
three?
No, me.
Yeah, I do.
I used to listen to Panic Disco a little bit, but not
Yeah.
like heavy. Like
Yeah. See, my dad, he be doing that.
songs.
Like, I just can't.
Okay.
Like, his playlist is real different. He got a lot of varieties of music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me and mine's real simple.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But the rock, I could never.
Okay.
Nah,
I would say this though. Back when I was playing basketball, I think the number one song was like "Ambition" of Wale, Rick Ross, and Meek Mill. That was like one good motivation song.
Yeah.
That I feel like everybody rock with. Meek Mill, I feel like because that's when I was in junior high. Meek Mill was real heavy. Everybody really was like heavy on Meek Mill.
I tell you what,
That's basketball music. I feel like that.
we used to ride to the games on buses, and we would listen to the Joker. We do it for fun.
Yeah.
And we be all
My
on there
name
spitting.
is Joker.
Going crazy, son.
Yeah.
They think about that song back in the day. Even what he do, 3 or 4 of them.
Yep.
All of them went crazy. That's what we used to listen to on the way. But Wale's one of my sleepers. Like I got this album in my house right now, wrapped up.
Really?
Yeah,
like
like
that?
a hard copy. Yeah.
Hey, that's love for
You know
sure.
what I
Because
mean?
ain't nobody getting hard copies. Everybody's, streaming for sure. So if I could get one quick round the table, give me one. I guess you can give me an older GOAT or someone that you listen to that's in the past, like growing up, and then somebody now that you're kind of that most improved player type of artist for you. Somebody that's coming up in the game. Big Tone, who you got?
Andre 3000 will probably be my favorite from Old Head.
Mm-hmm.
New, I'd probably say what's old buddy's name from the little show he just did? Sounds like Kendrick Lamar. D Smoke.
D Smoke. Okay.
Yeah, I mess with D Smoke.
Okay.
I watched the whole show when he did the
that Netflix thing?
yeah, and he was going crazy, bro. Like his vibe is what I like. He's talking about real life stuff, and, where we struggle and how men struggle, and us in the black culture, all that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then his album, his little EP came out. I got that, so that's probably my new guy. That's gonna blow up, I think.
Okay. Alex, can I get yours real quick, man? Somebody that you listened to from back in the day that was big?
I'm trying to talk my head. Who I be listening to?
Okay.
I like the Dr. Dre era. Just
Okay.
anything Dr. Dre produced back then, probably.
Okay.
I listen to like the Chronic heavy, and then Chronic 2001 probably a lot. Not anything particular, but anything like NWA, Dr. Dre, some maybe some 50 Cent.
Okay.
And then I like
That's nice.
Blue Bucks Clan.
Yeah.
You ever heard of them?
Yeah.
It's like California music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Is that what Ziggy be listening to?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I need to check
Like,
that
I
out,
just
man.
told a good bitch she ain't good enough. I like that.
Oh yeah, you
I like
tweeted that,
type of
huh?
talk. I put it on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what you on, bro?
As far as like old heads, I usually never like got into like the 90s, 80s like hip hop stuff.
You can do
That would
R&B
be-
if you got somebody.
Well, I was like, the most what I grew up listening to is a lot of Drake shit. I
Okay.
will say that.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I was like, but you already know I was in like the 90s R&B shit. So
Mhm.
when I was little,
Yeah.
definitely growing up. Like Tyrese was probably one of my favorites.
Mm.
Then you
Wow.
got Jodeci.
Yes, sir.
Jodeci's a legend.
Hey, man.
Tyrese Thomas, man. Tyrese different. Him as a person's different.
Yeah,
He
you
can
gotta-
sing. I give him that, but him as a person be on.
So you got to separate the music from the
Yeah.
person.
It's like R. Kelly and Robert Kelly, 2 different people.
Stupid, bro.
Two different
This
people.
is why we don't have this.
It's 2 different people. You don't agree with
yes.
that statement?
Yes, bro. But come on, man.
One's Robert, one's R. Kelly.
Okay, bro.
And
So,
whichever one is crazy, that's on them. But that's the singing one
yeah,
goes insane.
that's true. But that you can say that about Mike
Mike, what?
Jackson.
Let me tell you something.
Well, I will
White,
say this much.
white Mike, different. My colored Mike, legend. See what I'm saying? It's just
We'll
pillows.
save it for a different podcast, but he
Yeah.
didn't do none of that stuff. But we'll save it.
Okay.
No, I'm being serious. He didn't do none of that stuff.
Hey, man. So if I had to go back, man, I was real big. It's hard. I'd probably say Boys to Men for sure.
Okay.
Shout out to Moms because she was definitely, bumping that Boys to Men. It's definitely like them and probably like Mariah Carey if I had to, Mariah can hit them notes. But I swear I was gonna marry Mariah, boy.
Man.
Mariah
You know what
and Mary J. Blige have a hood man singing like a woman,
Man, trying to hit them notes.
killing them. I'm
Man.
driving down the street yelling.
And it's just like honey. Boy, Mariah, I was watching them videos every day. Like, man,
Okay.
one day.
we ain't get that. You
One
keep that
day.
to yourself. We can keep that to yourself.
Nah, and then probably new artists for sure.
Polo G watch.
Polo G.
Was you
I
about to
like
say
I
Polo
like
G?
Polo G, but no.
Oh, okay, I
no,
thought you were going to say
wasn't gonna
Polo G.
I would definitely say probably like a Pooh Shiesty.
Okay.
He's he was on the rise like that 762 God. That was my shit for a long time. You
Who?
know, that 762 God.
I don't know who that
Big
is.
Burr.
Yeah, Big
I
Brr.
ain't know who that is.
Yeah,
On that Gucci shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
okay,
sure.
signed to the same label.
Yeah.
Okay.
New 1017.
Yeah,
Pooh
Gucci.
Shiesty.
Because
Sure.
Pooh Shiesty's cousin's also signed too.
I believe
His
so.
name is something. I don't know
Big
what it
30? Is it that?
Yeah.
Big 30.
Yeah.
I don't know if he signed the
I don't
Moneybag
know.
Yo or if he signed the Gucci, but I know he
One
is
of
some-
them signed to that whole little clique is pretty
Oh, yeah.
dangerous though. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Moneybag, he got something that said that made me feel so good to the heart. He said,
What's up,
we can keep it gangster, we can keep it cordial, how you want to go about it.
man?
And I had to send it to my homie like, he just said my first and last name.
Stupid.
He just said my first and last name. So, but it's really like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially for all of us, you know, we come from different backgrounds, but it's just like it can get that way or we can keep it straight.
Absolutely.
And then it's just how it is. But you say Boys to Men. I had to dance with my mom at my wedding to Boys to Men.
I'm telling you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's the for Ted Brad. When I tell you for the longest time, that dance with my mama, man, I don't know what it was. Anytime that stuff came, like, I was just like, bro, like, my mom done held it down for so many years. Bruh. That song come on, tears get to damn near falling on my face, you know what I'm saying? Because you think about, you know, those songs definitely made you feel a lot more back in the day, you know, whether it was, you know, messed up with your woman, you know, whatever's going on, you know, you trying to get a girl, and it wasn't all this, you know, I'm trying to do this to you, I'm trying to do that. It's
R&B was different back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Johnny
very
Gill, slip on your red
Okay,
dress.
that's no Johnny Gill. Don't ever disrespect me.
Wow.
Just telling you.
You see what we do with? Nah, I'm playing with y'all, man. So, you know, as we go into this, and we talked about music, but I want to touch on friendship, just because it's a big deal to me. You know, growing up, I had a lot of different issues, friends, and even family. You know, because I had a lot of times I had struggles with family because I think, you know, because we are blood, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't be able to do this to me, you shouldn't do that to me, you know what I'm saying, and that really took me a long time to understand because it messed me up like bad, you know, and that's why I really do, and I'm sorry sometimes, like I lean on y'all probably more than y'all know, you know what I'm saying, we done had plenty of conversations. And so, you know, I would just want to kind of share stories about, you know, friendship and what that means to you. And, you know, it may not be the most important thing to y'all, but to me, it is. So I'm going to let you go, Tony, if you got some, or just a story from a friend and how that, you know, bond or relationship helped you in life.
Yeah, you know, a lot. My boy Hodges is my best friend. He's older than me, obviously. He coached me in high school, but he's my best man at my wedding. And he's definitely been there for me on this journey of being a man, a husband, a hard worker, you know what I mean? So there's a situation where I came to him because I was struggling with myself mentally, like how to stay focused instead of doing dumb stuff. And we sat down one day and he was like, what do you want to be known for when this is all over? And he's always been super supportive of who I am, but he also knows what it can be. So he gave me an ultimatum when I was young as a basketball coach, like, look, you either stop doing that or we done doing this coaching thing. And when you care for somebody, you can put them in that tough situation and really hope they make the right decision.
Right.
And from that day forward, I've had little to no trouble in my life. And if anything was to happen, I could always go to him for anything. Like, I've never been uncomfortable with talking to him about nothing. It's my dog, you know what I mean? And y'all same way, I'll tell you whatever, but it's some things that, like, I feel like he been through it a little bit longer that I can reach out to him and talk to about. Right. And it's different from, like, my brother or my dad, who the response you're going to get, you kind of know what's going to come, but you don't accept it like it should be accepted. And that's not right. But it's just y'all been through so much, you only see it one way. Right. So I talk to him, it's a whole different outlook on how it goes. But so it's the same thing for him. I'm younger than him, but he hit me. He been married 10, 11, 12 years. He hit me if he needs something, and I shoot him game. Like, this is what I think. He's like, cool. And that's why we've been able to coexist so well in this coaching thing. But he real life like my best friend. Right. And outside of my wife, he is there for me if I need anything. Right. Like we ain't never put each other in a situation where we like need something. But if I need him to be available, he'll be available. Right. You know, and that's huge for me when it comes to friendship because all of us are busy. But like we discussed the other day, if you call me and you need me, I can spare 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours to come see what's up, what's going on.
For sure.
And people got to understand in friendships, it's sometimes uneven.
Yeah.
It is. But there's going to be times where they need you more than you need them and vice versa. But you just got to, when you care about someone, like you call them your brother, you got to be open to vulnerable conversations and being open to talk to about anyone about anything. You know, the conversation we had last week was deep.
Absolutely.
And it's like, that's what friends do. And you needed it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to hear it. I wanted you to give me some of that stress and take it. That's a friendship.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's how serious I take it. I've had the same friend group for a long time. I might not talk to them every day, but I can call them right now. We chop it up like nothing happened. A lot of people don't have that. Like Mariah, we talk about it. She's like, you have like 10 friends. You can always. I'm like, yeah, but I built that. I've always been loyal to them.
Right.
So they're loyal to me. And even if they not, I'm cool with that. They got lives too, but I'm going to be there for them if they need me.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about friendship.
Okay. Alex, do you mind sharing a story about you?
I'm sorry, you be hitting me on top of that. I'll be confused.
No, you good.
Probably me and your brother getting closer. Not a specific story, but we was close. But obviously, we bring in LeVar passing. Kind of shortly after me and him started really kicking every day, talking every day. He was over here all the time. And it made me like realize how special friendship is, you know, because Tony be talking about the way we talk to each other, but it's like, it's a genuine level and it's nice to just be talking shit to each other. Nobody take it serious and we kind of know what level we on.
Right.
Like we know not to be too disrespectful, but we laugh and playing the whole time. But we need to have a deep, serious talk. We have it in a heartbeat. There's times your brother pulled up here, we'd be outside for 2-3 hours just sitting in the car, chilling, talking, listening to music, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But so it's cool to share the energy with somebody because not like who's like I feel like you said, you got like 10 different friendships. I feel like they individually can give something, you know what I mean? And some can give more than the other, which is cool, but it's like certain things. Like you might, like Tony, I'm just telling you an example, but he might have friends he just go golf with, but that doesn't mean nothing. But they go golf, they'll have them deep talks then. You got some people call whenever, no matter what, and just call them, have a deep talk right then and there. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, with Dante, though, I'll be doing that. Just I can call him whenever. We could just be chopping up. He playing a game. I'm just talking shit to him. We playing around. But if I need serious business talk, bro, help me with this, help me with that, it'll help me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just being able to do whatever. You know, if I want to call, just talk shit to him. He ready to talk shit. If I need something, hey, bro, I need to talk to you. All right, bro, pull up. You know what I'm saying? And especially going to a house, too. And it's for like family, for like home. He come here. It's for like home type of vibe, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So not a specific story I can think of. But just that, like I said, LeVar passing. And then again, kind of make sure to connect again with my day ones, you know what I'm saying, was really special to me because unfortunately we had to connect at the funeral and it was like, damn. So then after everybody started kind of going out with each other again, talking to each other more, or at least me entering back in the group because that's one thing I feel like we all agree with. You can kind of distance yourself without meaning it to, you know what I'm saying, getting busy as an adult and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all growing in this life, man. Ayo?
Mine's more or less kind of like a shout out, especially to this man Randy, Rando the Bando.
Yeah,
this man's been more than a friend to me.
Really?
Just like over the years, the things he's done for me, like I can't even give this man anything back but love. Like, because he's done so many small things. Like from when shit went bad with me and like my girl, he came over and helped and did some things. Just like. If I ever needed anything like financially, that man was always there. If I needed someone to talk to, that man would be the first one to answer the phone, talking about, hey, yo, what do you need? Who's this? Besides this man right here, if I need to knock on the door. But really just a big shout out to Randy for just being there and just holding it down.
Rando from the Bando.
Silently.
That's my guy.
Hey, shout out Rando, man.
Yeah, work, don't say nothing, working hard.
But
hard working.
I'm talking about 100, 200 pound safes, pulling them off by hand. He ain't using no dolly, no nothing.
5?
Yeah, 5'5", maybe.
Monster,
just
bro.
thugging it.
Bro, and in the middle of like going through shit with his family and everything, he was still one of the first people to just pick up without a question, just show up and answer.
Right.
And understanding what he's going through, like,
So
much love to that man.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Absolutely. You know, obviously, you know, I'm going to say one story for you. And, you know, you touched on the one where we was talking the other day. You know, like that, I needed that for sure. But one story that, you know, many may not know. If you know me and you went to Moore High School, you know me, Maurice, and KJ. Like, them is my guys. That's my gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, Maurice, in my opinion, didn't have no reason to hang out with me. You the starting point guard. I ain't getting no burn, ain't doing shit. I'm just on the end of the bench, and he was like a brother to me, and his whole family took me in. KJ was having his struggles, and he wasn't kicking it with the starters, like that.
Right.
Like he was messing with us. Like we staying at his house every weekend type.
Yeah.
So I got a quick story about him, and I got one about AO, but I was supposed to be going to Seward County Community College up there in Liberal, where I'm from, and I was at my last AAU game coaching Jabari, and I'm telling all my kids goodbye, blah, 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 and they're crying. And, even Jabari was crying. I didn't really think he would because, this was around that time, like, we had been around each other so long that my words wasn't reaching him like they were in the beginning type thing. And he's sitting there crying, man. And, this is the same day. So just understand, this is all on the same day. My grandpa comes and picks me up from the game. We're driving back, and I'm just sad. I'm like, man, I'm going to miss my brothers. I'm going to miss Dante graduating high school. I'm going to miss so many of Jabari's games. All this stuff going on. And, I get to Liberal, and, my parents are kind of telling my grandparents, because that's what I was going to live with. They're telling me, we're going to be doing this and doing this. And all I can think about is my brothers and my people back home. I call my mom, and, I'm crying because I miss her because I ain't, my biological dad was gone when I was 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? And so, to me, my mom's always gonna have that special place in my heart, just because to me, she could have put me up for adoption, and that's just really how I felt. Like that's how I took it. Like you could have done anything with me, you didn't have to keep me. So like I'm just missing my mom, and then Jabari gets on the phone and he's crying, and bro, I really I'm trying not to get emotional, but he was just crying on the phone, and he was like, just come home, And I just, I'm outside. My grandpa had a pontoon boat in the backyard, and I'm outside on the phone talking to Jabari in the pontoon boat, just sitting there, bro, because I'm just going through it, bro. And I'm texting Mo, like, bro, I don't even know what like, I want to do this, but I'm a big family guy. Like, my family's all I've really had, me and my friends, my friend groups at time to time weren't really the friends. It was like, you cool, but to do certain things with and things of that nature. So, when I tell you this is all the same day, we drive 4 hours to Liberal. I'm there with my grandparents for 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Maurice hops in the car after I talk to him. He goes and picks Dante up. And this man drives 4 hours to Liberal, picks me up, and drives straight back. No questions asked, no nothing. Mom gives him gas money. This man drives. This is all in the same day, bro. Drives to Liberal 4 hours, an 8-hour drive in the Honda Civic, bro. With Dante in the passenger seat, bro, and they come pick me up. I ain't even unpacked yet. Load my shit back in the car, bro. Boom. I'm on the way home.
Wow.
And that shit, bro, like that was like real big for me because I never felt like I had friends that would ever treat me the way I do. Because if y'all ever called me, it was like, bro, I need you to come get me now. I'm on the way. I'm in the car. I got the GPS loaded. And for him to do that, for Dante to come, you know what I'm saying? No questions asked. An 8-hour straight drive. Like, I was back the next day in time to coach the next game for Jabari and them. Like, that shit, man. Like, Maurice, if you hear this, bro, I love you and I appreciate you, man. And, real quick, one for AO. LeVar, shout out to you. I love you, little bro. He passed away, and Dante came and stayed with me for a month. And, it was just one of them things. It's real hard on him, you know what I'm saying? He's going through things mentally and different things like that because I was like his best friend. Was his best friend. And I come in the living room one day, and he has his hand, his head in his fucking hands. And I knew because I didn't really see him cry the whole time. Like, whenever we went there, like the day after, Q was in the room with him hanging out, making sure he was good and whatever. But I never really seen him cry. So, this is like probably 3-4 weeks into staying with us. And I appreciate Aaron because he let him come stay. Me and Aaron stay together. So he let him stay on the couch. And, I just came over there, sat by him. I was like, bro, you can cry, And thanks to Big Tony, showing me how to, interact with that kind of situation. But, he just let it out, man. 3 weeks gone by, you done buried your best friend. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, bro, like, that's my dude. Like, we done had conversations, and, I wish I was there. I thought I had talked to him enough, and he's just feeling all this stuff, bro. And when I tell you, he cried for like 2-3 hours, like nonstop, just crying. And I start crying, and all I could do is just hug him because he's like shaking, crying. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to, not cry as much, obviously, because I want to be there for him. And, he's just going through it. My parents pull up. They get to him and talk to him. Well, he calms down. He goes stays with my parents. Well, I go knock on the door at AO. We watch anime usually whenever new episodes come out. And,
always goes back to anime somehow.
It does, bro. Hey, I'm telling you, we like this, bro. Swear to God. But I walk in there and we chilling, and I start kind of just tearing up because it was the same day all this stuff happened. And I'm talking to AO, and I'm just like, just to see that hurt on my little brother's face, that hurt you can't heal. That hurt you can't do nothing about. You can't solve that problem. You can't take it away. You can't make it eat nothing. And if you like LeVar, if you got a chance to know little bro, anybody he loved, even if he wasn't the closest with you, like he made sure he told you he loved you. You know what I'm saying? He told me he was proud of me for working at my job. Like, just one of those things. Him and Keon were always those ones, big bro this, big bro that, And I'm just crying to Aaron, and I'm just like, just hurting. And Aaron's like, bro, you good? Like, I got you. Like, if you need something, because I felt helpless for my little brother. Like, I felt like I couldn't do nothing. And I know he had Alex and all those other guys, and I had Aaron, when I went through that, because it was just a tough situation. I felt like I lost someone who was like a little brother to me, like for real. And my brother lost his best friend. And like I said, family is definitely mess with me sometimes. So I'm a big person, and like I put a lot of my love and invest a lot of my time in my friends. So like just you being there for me, you know what I'm saying? That meant a lot to me. And there's been plenty of times where I've gone in there and cried and just talked to you, bro. And having these friends around me, like I've told y'all in the first episode, it saved my life, because I've been in places where I didn't know how I was gonna get out or what was the point for the next day type thing, But having Big Tony to come and talk to and have those big bro talks, because I don't have big brothers, and have Zach, have Abram, and then when I need relatable situations, what I'm saying, I talk to AO, but I'm just real thankful about the opportunities and the people that have been placed in my life, because I couldn't do it without y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to give all of y'all, Alex, Big Tom, AO, like I said, Zach, Abram, even my little brothers, like I appreciate y'all for being in our lives, because y'all mean a lot, man. For sure.
Yeah, much love.
Yeah, love.
Yeah, you already know what it is, man.
And today is, obviously a special day, but hard day on top of that. But my Alex and LeVar growing up, it was like, it was funny because there was alike to me so much. They just be cracking me up seeing them together.
Yeah,
and I think about the times when they was in that little jerking phase. I pull up to pick them up one time, and they in his mama's driveway over there by OCCC, just going crazy in the parking lot or in the drive-through.
I'll be watching the videos on YouTube. Yeah, Alex posted.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I think about back to those times, like all them cats is just, brothers. And then for like you said, my brother was hurt, and the fact that there was nothing I could do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe hug him, hold him, tell him I'm here. But some people got to realize life is just so short. And so you have friends, family that could be gone in a day, and so everybody that's struggling, cherish those moments with those people. Because, like, I had brain surgery, scared everybody, and it could have been gone. But none of us expected what happened when it happened. I remember I called you like, yo, is this real? And you're like, yeah. And I walked in, he was in the room, and I walked in and told him, he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, bro. So he made his calls. It was just shocking. You know what I mean? It's shocking. But he left a mark on our city, you know what I'm saying? Especially from a music standpoint, that's like, he held it down. You know what I'm saying? You listen to his music, you gonna vibe. It's just the reality of the situation. But we love you. You know what I'm saying? We miss you. We gonna pray for you.
Absolutely.
Everybody went and celebrated him yesterday at his hometown, and Alex made a video. If anybody want to check it out, it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
But we love you, bro.
Yes, sir. Love you, bro.
Love.
New world forever, man. And not to make this a gloom and doom episode, of course, but we've all had to deal with loss in life, and it's not the easiest thing. So if y'all, if you don't mind sharing a story about the time that you've, lost someone like that, it really meant something to you. Because obviously, as we grow, the older people in our life, they'll go, and you kind of, it's more expected. Like, we love you, blah blah blah. You're getting up there in age, but like that one, even if they were older, like, they just hit you different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So there's a guy I grew up named Blake Vale.
Mm-hmm.
Him, his little sister and Alex was real close when they was little, but he was one of the coolest dudes. We've been knowing each other since middle school. It was just wild. And, it's funny because I'm being the basketball player I am. A lot of people give me respect just for being the big guy I am and I can play.
Mm-hmm.
He would always joke with me like, "Bro, we gotta play as we got older."
Mm-hmm.
And I'd seen him at a grocery store, or I seen him at 7-Eleven one night. It was like 11:30. I ain't seen him in a while. You could tell he was doing bad or whatever, but.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "T, we got a hoop, blah, blah, blah." I got you, bro. Next time I see you, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "All right, yeah, me and you one-on-one." I'm like, "Whatever you want."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cool. And it wasn't but a week later, I get the call from some of my friends, and they're like, "BV gone." I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And they tell me the story, and I mean, I'm infuriated inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, hurt to the core. Well, then we go to his funeral, bro, and like, I'm with Will Davis, and he ain't seen me cry like this. And video goes by and all the memories, bro. I'm just crying because I'm like, you were such a good dude. Like, you legitimately, everybody loved you.
Yeah.
You was that type of guy, but you just got caught in the wrong path. And that really changed me, and like the circle I ran around with, the things I was doing. It was like, you got to live rightfully for BV. You know what I'm saying? And he was in my group, he was that guy. Like, everybody loved him.
Right.
And so when that happened, and that was huge impact-wise in my life, because it was like, we played football together. We ran around parties together. All that type of stuff. But that was a big one in my life.
Oh yeah, Alex, you got one? Obviously.
Probably obviously LeVar, but also Makai when we was younger. Makai passing. Even at this age, it's still hard to process. Like, Makai and LeVar, because it's like we're too young regardless either way. Like, we were like freshmen in high school when Makai passed away. And LeVar passed away as well. It's like both of those, like, because I got it's one picture. It's a picture of me, Makai, LeVar, and Trey. And I'm like, you couldn't tell me two people out of this picture would be gone. Like, that's like mind blowing. Like, because you gotta, like, from my standpoint, since I'm so young, I'm always thinking like, what would they be doing right now? Thinking about graduation. I'm like, bro, like, Makai would have been here, and then just thinking about random stuff like this. Because, like, for instance, like, LeVar's supposed to come on the podcast like that week. And I remember being so excited because I'm going to get to show him all my stuff, because he used to always be on Instagram Live, and I was on there like, bro, I got a camera now. We'll be on YouTube. Like, because he came on before, but it was just a microphone. There was no camera and stuff. Right. So I'm hyped because one thing me and LeVar shared was he was kind of in the same realm I was, trying to, create something that everybody else wasn't doing. He was trying to do the music stuff. I was trying to do podcast stuff. So it's kind of intermingled. I'm like a media guy. He can come on, talk about premiere music, whatever it may be. So every time we see each other, we talk about the podcast, his music. And even growing up, everybody know LeVar was on music way early before it became like everybody want to do it. And I used to joke around like, bro, let me be your manager. Let me take control of your YouTube. Let me do this, bro. Like, because I was trying to help put him on, and we vice versa, So, like, I was listening back to the episode today, and we was just giving so much love back and forth because we, like I said, we both trying to hustle and get out and grind on our own. So, yeah, it wasn't them two, Makai and LeVar, just being so young again, and them two having such, like out there personalities, like they could talk to anybody, most genuine dudes, make anyone laugh. And for them to be gone, it's like mind blowing. Anytime I think about both of them every day. Like, seriously, every day. They never not cross my mind.
Absolutely. Hey, yo.
See, I'll say I've been lucky to not really lose that many people around me. The only person I really lost that close to me right now is like a couple weeks ago. My grandma passed away. So I'm still kind of like in the midst of how to figure that out and how to deal with my emotions and shit, because I'm not used to like losing people like that yet. So definitely still.
For sure, man. I'll say for me, like I told, said earlier, like my biological dad was gone, like at an early age, I believe, like 1 or 2. No dirt on his name, by any means. But my stepdad, or the person I call Daddy, Toby, his family, was definitely big to me growing up because, you know, as a young kid, I understand that my biological dad was gone, you know what I'm saying, to an extent. And so I thought of it as these people have no reason to show me love. I'm not your blood. I'm not, you know, I'm your son, cousins, whatever's girlfriend's son. You know, that's just how I viewed it because I don't want to go. I've been hurt. I'll say it like this. My mom had told me that her biological father had called me a nigger baby, you know. And so to hear that so early on, you know what I'm saying, it changed my perspective of things because you supposed to be, you know, my blood type, you know. So it fucked with me. But my mom told me the story about my dad's brother, my Uncle Terrell, you know, and I don't really remember. I was 2 years old, but, you know, she told me the first time I'd ever went over there, the first thing he ever said was, you know, where my nephew at? Never met me a day before in his life. You know what I'm saying? And as we grow up, you know, he was big into anime. You know, he played video games and things like that. Well, you know, before he had passed, you know, we were down there visiting. And, you know, he had issues with his health. You know, he's a bigger guy. And, you know, he was arguing with somebody. And I guess it got the blood pressure up too high or whatever. And, you know, it's our last day there. And he goes to the hospital, you know, because everyone's telling him, you know, Terrell, calm down. Terrell, calm down. You know, and stuff happens. He goes to the hospital. So, you know, we're getting ready to go back home and we go visit him in the hospital. And this is right before I think the Xbox 360 comes out. And, you know, I'm in there and I'm trying not to cry, you know, all that shit. Because might have been in sixth grade. Yeah, sixth grade at least. Because we were staying over there by Santa Fe. But he was talking to me, nephew. He was like, you know, I'm going to be good, nephew. You know, when I get out, I'm going to get the new Xbox, blah, blah, blah. Like, we going to get out. And I'm like, all right, bet, I'm going to get one too. You know, this and that. And, you know, I give him a hug and I'll leave. And, you know, it's about 12 to 14 hour drive. I'm not exactly sure. And I don't even think we got to even unpack our bags. And we get a phone call as soon as we pull up in the driveway to the house. And it's like, you know, my mom's like, hello, blah, blah, blah. Well, my dad's already in the room. I guess he had brought something to was bringing clothes out of the car and put in the room. Well, my mom walked straight to her room and told my dad, I'm guessing, because he didn't come back out the room. And then she came out there and told us, and she was like, Uncle Terrell passed away. And that really messed me up because it's like this is my dude. Like, you know, like I said, he ain't have no reason to love me. Like, he was the guy that, you know, my parents was asleep telling me to go to bed. You know, he'd let me sneak out there while he was playing video games and just watch, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, that really rocked my world because it's like, damn, you know, and I go back and, you know, you go to my grandma's house where he stayed and you see his door and, you know, see the door to his room and you open it and, you know, he's not there no more. He ain't never going to be there no more. You know what I'm saying? And that really fucked with me, man. And if I can touch on a quick other one, you know, my Aunt Shonda, you know, she wasn't even family like that. She was like one of my best friend's moms. We was over there every summer, you know what I'm saying? And she passed away one day and just, again, just see some of your best friends hurting and, you know, they're just bawling, bro. You can't do nothing about it. And you think, like, I don't know if I'll ever be prepared for that day where can't get that phone call from Al Dukes. Mm-hmm. You know, so all you can do is just hold them and hug them. And, you know, those are two of the ones early on that just really changed my life because it's like some people get annoyed now because I just tell you I love you all the time because I don't know if it'll be the last time. You know, I tell you I love you. Hey, I tell you I love you. Me and Alex, you know, me and Alex weren't ever always the closest, but now since we've been doing all this stuff, you know, hey, love you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for all you do. Because I want y'all to know that regardless of whatever's going on, at the end of the day, like I said, y'all helped me through everything. Y'all talked to me, and I love y'all like y'all was my same DNA, man. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all, for real, for real. I don't know what time we at, for sure.
We'll put about an hour and 5 minutes.
All right, man. We're going to wrap this thing up, man.
I do want to let everyone know we're on Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public. So I think about another week it should be on Apple Podcasts, which is the major one. But Spotify for right now, and YouTube every Monday at 12 p.m. And then it'll be on Spotify, 12 p.m. as well. But hopefully, I think Apple will be coming up soon. Just letting everyone know for Apple products. That's usually where everyone listens because Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
hopefully we'll get on there soon.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for joining us on another podcast. Hopefully we can get too gloom and doom for you. And like I said, we appreciate y'all for showing love on episode 3.
Yeah.
I'm your host, DJ.
Ayo.
Alex, my fault.
Big Tony.
Hey, we gone, man.